Hey, welcome back to You Must Start Gaming. This is a game that I've hinted at in the past. That's going to come out. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe later this year because I've seen some previews. I think there's already some beta testing going on. This is the official blog for Pocket City and Pocket City 2. I know that this update, this specific update, is old because it says November 2021. Sorry about that. Um, but I know that he has updated some of the stuff here. And this is nice because it shows you that he's working on the game so you can, just like on the first one, you can play it vertical or horizontal. And I think that's super awesome that you have that flexibility. Same thing on a tablet. So portrait mode is nice because you're going to be able to do, a lot of stuff one-handed, which is great. And like I said, this is from a while back. So he's actually improved some of these things, worked on a ton of bugs. This is really cool that he's showing you the cinematic. Sorry, on the free roam. So the free roam basically lets you roam around as if you were there, part of the city, which is super cool. So you can do it street level, or you can actually hover up above the the earth there, um, which this will literally blow your mind because if you remember the first game, it was basically a city builder. You're trying to add territory. You're trying to add, police, fire department, things like that. But the people weren't an integral part. I mean, they were there and they'd wander around and say little things, but that was it. You're basically just trying to get as much income as possible to be able to level up. And as you leveled up, you unlocked better buildings that would help you out and bring you more income and let you do a lot more with it. When I heard that he was going to be doing something like this, where you'd have your own avatar, you'd have the what is it called, street view kind of perspective, I was kind of like, why at first? It wasn't like why, kind of like that's ridiculous. Like, who needs that? You're just trying to build a city and that's it. It was more of a why of I want to see what he's talking about and is it going to make sense? Is it going to make the game change? Like, it's not going to be a pure city builder anymore. Um, so I was kind of like confused a little bit of like, why are we going to do that? The game was already really fun, very casual kind of game. You're building the city however you want. Um, and mind you, some of these are stretched. I'm not sure why they're popping up on my screen a little. Oh no, this was not stretched. That on mobile, I think these look stretched. Anyways, this is just an example. The actual artwork in the game is a little nicer than this. But then I started looking at stuff like this, and look, there's different streets that you can do, different roads types, things like that, which is really cool. Um, there's different characters that wander around. A lot of them I think are just going to be actual, just little characters, and that's it. But there's going to be a lot of them that you're also going to be able to interact with, which is really cool. Then you look at this one, there's definitely going to be nighttime, which is really cool. So your city's going to look different. You're going to have a rail transit. And this rail transit looks realistic. It doesn't look like something that was added on top of everything else that you were doing. I like it actually looks like what it's trying to be, which is super cool. You can make friends with citizens. So this was the part that I was like, how is he going to do this? Because the majority of the pure city builders don't have anything to do with the population. It's all about growing, 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 becoming efficient, and producing a lot and becoming wealthy and all that kind of thing. With this one, because, and I think this all ties together with the street view and having that you're immersed in your own city, I think is genius. And the fact that he's able to pull it off is amazing. So it looks like you can. There's some of these are going to be buildings that you're going to click on, and you're going to be able to see the people in there and interact with them. Others, it's going to be people wandering around. Um, but see, you can trade, you can gift, you can chat. I don't remember how many of these are actually there now. But look at this, your friendship. You're going to have a friendship level. So then sometimes they're going to have quests for you to do. Um, let's see. Down here, Billy. Billy offers you a free drink. You choose a drink or you decline. And there's so many more NPCs than that. And you might not even run into all of them, I think. I think maybe if you play constantly and you want to be a completionist and find every NPC, I'm sure you can do it. Um, but I think there's going to be a lot of randomness. They're not all going to be in the same spot. Some of the buildings might have NPCs in them, and that's easy peasy. But there might be other NPCs that wander around, and if you haven't built that building or you haven't built that part of town, because this is one of those where you have a map, but you have to expand on it and expand and expand and expand. So there might be NPCs that pop up to certain levels or different areas of the map. Like, I don't know, sewage and waste management. This was not a very big thing in the first game at all, but it sounded like he wanted to add a lot more depth to the first game. And to be honest with you, when I first heard about the second game, I was like, okay, I hope it has a little bit more depth than the first one, because the first one, once you get close to level 90, it's almost on autopilot. You already know you can afford pretty much everything. You have enough police, fire stations, different things like that to do everything you need to do. You're trying to be a little more efficient, but the game almost runs itself, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a super fun game. I still highly, highly recommend Pocket City 1. There's no ads. That it is one of those you pay once and then you have the whole game. Such a fun, fun game. I don't know if this guy ended up taking steroids or what the heck he did, or maybe went back to college or something. But it looks like he's come up with here for Pocket City 2 is ridiculous. This is like, it's almost like Pocket City 1 was almost like a demo for this game. That's how much depth and content and refinement he's put into this game. I'm just blown away. I mean, just looking at these photos here, there's so much more for you to do than just build. You can rotate the buildings, which is awesome. You couldn't do that before. Um, all the graphics are a little bit more realistic. I think it's a slightly higher density of pixel art. Um, let's see over here. Oh, you can build walls and stuff like that. Let's see, brush mode. So you can build things a certain way. Sorry about that. Repair damaged buildings and roads. Just an interesting concept. You can fix these things as long as you have the right tools, the right requirements for it. You can fix them. And I like this perspective that you can actually tell the different buildings from one another. And the first one, once you got a little zoomed in, you realize that everything was very minimalist, very basic. This, when you zoom in, you can actually see stuff better. And even right here, there's a little loop here that if the roads or the streets are in really bad shape, people are going to fall over. That's very interesting. So, and then obviously they're not going to be happy if that's going on. Detailed stat screen. So the stat screen in the first one was pretty good. It was very, very straightforward. This one seems to have a lot more depth of everything, which is nice. For people that are building cities, they want to know like everything. They want to know how they feel about education, how they feel about religion, how they feel about their safety, how they feel about their income and opportunity to find jobs, things like that. Super cool. The research tree, there was something, not research tree, but there were like task driven trees in the first one that you could evolve and do a little bit better. Um, this one takes that and magnifies it. Now there's different things that you can enhance. Sales training, 4-day work week, bank income. Let's see. Mind you, I'm showing you stuff here that's from a few months back, but it's still mind blowing because some of the stuff wasn't there when this post was initially posted. So some of these are a little bit newer. Discover metal scrap, wild resources that can be collected behind plots of land. So you can discover things, which is nice. And you can see all the great area is areas that you can eventually expand to, which is really nice. There's plenty of new buildings. This was exciting too. I mean, obviously he dumped a bunch of them here so you can see them, but there's a lot more buildings. I think in the first one, these type of buildings that are, um, I mean, there's a mix of stuff, but I would say there's at least 5 times more buildings, different type of buildings of these kind, not the generic ones, the simple ones, but just in general, there's a lot more here. which is exciting. And there's a lot more detail than in the first game. So a lot of these are going to just look super amazing just looking at them. Let's see. This part blew my mind, and I'm like, I'm currently working on a feature where you can create your own avatar, use it in the world. I think it'll make your experience feel more personal, give you a nice break from managing the big city. So this set experimental mayor ideas. And when I was looking at this, I was like, I don't know if I like this because now you're changing it from like a city builder to a little bit more of a sim. But I was like, okay, let's see. Build your own residence. See a house you like, buy it for yourself if you have the money, furnish it to improve its value, flip it for profit, or enjoy it for yourself and invite NPCs over. What? That's ridiculous. What are you talking about? You can build a whole city and you can be in the city and you can live in one of the houses and you can furnish it however you like, depending on, you have to buy the stuff, but there's other games that do this that, might be a other type of game, but then they're like, here you go, you can have your own house and you can kind of furnish it a little bit. And it's kind of like a little side thing. But I know there's a lot of people that love personalizing and customizing the game to themselves. This looks amazing. Then there's helpful avatars. You can pocket-sized version of yourself, relations. I mean, I think those are like your friendships and things like that. And then you have items. Um, so right here, if only I knew how to fish in real life. So he or the character that's playing here, the avatar, is fishing. So when can I play it? In quarter 1 of 2022, he's releasing a beta, which I think he's already released. But see this photo here of that person on their phone, the person sitting there, the raccoons? This is how a perspective of the game that you can actually do, and you can wander around just like if you're wandering around any city. I know the graphics aren't like cutting edge, but for a mobile game and a game of this kind, this is definitely nice enough. Definitely. You're going to be able to tell the difference between houses. I guarantee if you make a whole like neighborhood, uh, the detail in this game is just phenomenal. Like the difference between the sidewalk, the front yard, the fences, the backyard, like it's all proportionally, you know, to a certain degree, it's very proportionate. Like it makes sense. Like if you made like a whole neighborhood over here of these kind of buildings, you'd literally be able to walk it around just like any other neighborhood in real life. Like it's that distinguishable. It's that like proportionate, I guess is the best way to look at it. The perspective is amazing. So I'm gonna jump up here a little bit more because about 8 days ago, if you go on YouTube, I'll see if I can find the link, but I'll try to post it underneath here. They posted a live video from that company that makes Pocket City 2, a preview of the game and some gameplay, and that blew my mind. It's different to see little photos here of like, what it could be and, how easy is it going to be to wander around? How easy is it to be to use the interface? The video blew my mind. I didn't realize that your character could collect items. Like they can get an axe, so then they can wander around and like cut trees down. They can get like a fishing pole. They can get like a hammer and stuff like that to fix things. Um, I saw that there's two different perspectives, and you can see that all the way up here. Sorry for spinning this thing so fast. All the way on the top here, cinematic and free roam. Cinematic actually looks like it's a little video clip of your avatar wandering around looking at stuff. Versus free roam is yourself just wandering around as if you live there. I'm completely like amazed from what I've seen in the video. Yes, it looks kind of like what he's showing you here in the phone, but it looks even cleaner than that. It looks like you can zoom in to a good degree to really see the difference between this and that. Um, you can rotate the buildings, which was another big thing from the first one we wish that you could do. There's a lot more buildings here that do things. There's a lot more buildings that open up other things that you can do. Um, I don't know. Watch that video. Like I said, I'm going to try to link it underneath. But the free roam looks incredible. That's hard to do, programming wise, budget wise, whatever you want to call it. It's very difficult to make a game that you're building and doing all these kind of things, but then you can also change the camera perspective. That part just blew me away. So if you're kind of like, you know what, I don't feel like building anything today, but I kind of just want to wander around and meet some NPCs, perfect. Now you can do that. So, like I said, I'm blown away. I'm not sure if I can show clips of that um, as is right here, um, but that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So I'm gonna try to put the link underneath. Go check it out. It's definitely in beta, and I cannot wait for Pocket City 2 to come out. It's it's literally gonna change the game of city builders because it's city building plus a lot more. So stay tuned. If I get any more news about it, or I maybe find clips that I can chop up and put in here or something like that, I'll talk a little bit more about it. And I'm really hopeful that it comes out later this year because I am just blown away. It really makes Pocket City 1 seem like a demo to the finesse, richness, and depth of Pocket City 2. So I'm very excited about that. So thanks for watching. And hopefully I have another video up on more stuff on Pocket City 2, maybe in another few weeks or so. All right. Thanks for watching.